Yay! What is up, GR crew? Welcome to the after show. I'm just going to pull up the video here. We are continuing to be joined by ultra running memes sticking around, which is just wonderful. I know many of you had additional questions to ask of ultra running memes. So if you are watching on the Patreon page, all you got to do to join the live chat is click on this video towards the top. There's a YouTube link. Just click that YouTube link. It'll take you over to the YouTube page where the chat is now activated. Sorry, you can jump into the chat and you can ask those questions. But Kim has some pulled aside from the main show. And if you want to ask a question again, drop it into this live chat room and she'll get to that.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Question from Nathaniel. Nathaniel says, of all the memes you've composed, what is your favorite and why?
Oh, man, that's a really tough one. Honestly, I haven't thought too much. Occasionally, people will ask me about an old meme, and like they're too lazy to find it, so I guess I'll go find it for them. So I do scroll back through them on occasion, and I'm always just amazed at I cannot believe I've made like 1,000 memes, which is kind of outrageous.
It took me a long time to scroll back to get the first one. It took a long time.
It takes a while now. Yeah, there's some effort required there. Yeah, yeah, boy, I really don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite meme. I always enjoy the ones where, I label the body parts and talk about, the body's being destroyed. Those are kind of fun. Right. The attributes of ultra runners. So that's always good stuff.
Was there ever one that went more viral than you anticipated? Like was to the point where you were, whoa, like the likes are through the roof and people are commenting a ton? Or was there ever one that grabbed a lot of attention and you noticed that happening in real time?
Yeah, I think I've noticed that a few times, and I'm always, a little surprised when it does, because to me it's all funny, right? It's all in my head, just kind of happening.
For sure.
So it's hard for me to discern what's like extra funny, I guess, if you want extra relatable. But yeah, I think some of the ones that are just more the general ultra running about, I did the one where this is what people think I do, and it's like a picture of Killian running through some beautiful mountains. This is what I really do with some grandma, like power hiking with poles or something, and that one just kind of blew up. I didn't really think it was that funny. It was kind of funny. I thought, but, that one like blew up, and people are sharing this all over Facebook, and you need to tell them to stop doing that. It's your meme. But no, it's all good. So that was fun.
Has there ever been one that's controversial, one that's gotten a rise out of people, or one that you've had to delete?
Oh yeah. So early on, I did this meme, and it's funny because people will ask me where this meme is.
Oh.
So this was early on. I did a meme, and I just Googled aid station and just looked at photos, and I found one, and there was a woman standing in front of an aid station, and she's kind of just staring off in the distance. And the caption was something to the effect of, it said, "That moment you DNF." And I put some little bubbles in what she's talking to an aid station person. She's saying, "Do you have Coke?" And she says, "No, we have Pepsi." And so, the joke was not intended to be, someone's going to DNF if there's no Coke. It was just more of a Coke versus Pepsi kind of thing, which I thought was funny because people get really particular about stuff. Honestly, I had no idea who was in this picture. It was kind of an early on mistake sort of thing. And someone found who this person was or knew this person, tagged them in the comments. This was months later. And this person got really upset, and you made me look like a diva and this and that. And, please take it down immediately. I'm very upset about this. I said, no problem. I've got 1,000 memes. I don't mind deleting this one. No big deal. So yeah, I think that was a learning experience for me.
I guess that is something that you run up against with an account like this where, are you buying, I'm assuming you're not buying the stock photography or anything like that.
No. So I just leave all the watermarks on there and just use whatever I find.
Yeah, I can imagine it's difficult because sometimes you run into imagery that's like, this is perfect. This is a perfect meme worthy image. Yeah. And I guess you don't know if that person will ever see it. Yeah, you kind of run that fine line of satire and real life people who might see that. Let's get to some of these live questions.
Yeah, so outside of this one incident, Randy wants to know, have you ever gotten any hate mail?
Yeah, I did one time. Now, trying to remember what specifically. Oh, so I did a meme. It's a while back, and it was it had like where boys cried, it was Titanic. Where whatever cry. Where girls cried, Titanic. Where boys cried, it was Fast and Furious. I'm sorry, I'm losing the guy's name. But then where men cried, and it was and I'm going to forget all the names here now, but it was when I can't remember her last name, but she's the girl, the lady, older woman that finished Western States just under the cutoff. Everybody's crying. It's a real
Gunhild.
wonderful.
Gunhild.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So this person messaged me and she said, this is an extremely sexist meme. It's all about men, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, there's actually a woman, in the final photo. And they just really took it the complete wrong way.
That's interesting. I can't even imagine running that knife's edge of like satire, funny, comedy versus what is going to rile people up.
Right.
Like you want to rile people up, but not to the point of
not too much.
Yeah, you don't want to get hate mail, right? So
it doesn't happen very often. Yeah, every now and then somebody will, like I did the one with the guy where there's the women around him recently, and is talking about someone thought that was extremely sexist and just a poor portrayal. And I said, I get it. It's everyone's got their own opinions on those things. So
I thought it was very sexist.
that message was from you.
It was from me. I don't know the image he's talking about. I'm just mad.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, more questions.
Question from Austin in the chat room. Austin asks, how do you manage to attack me so personally with every meme you post?
I think that's a great way of putting it, because I feel attacked.
I was getting that a lot, especially early on. Are you attacking me, this and this and this? And every now and then it almost seemed like someone would get upset about the certain subjects I was broaching or whatever. And so I had to start telling people, like these memes are about myself at the end of the day, their experiences typically I've had or whatever. So if I'm attacking you, I'm also attacking myself. So no worries.
Go ahead. Eamon wanted to know about soup.
Where are you reading?
That was in the main chat room.
Yeah,
I saw they jumped into this one too.
Eamon's question is, when it do be like that, why does it happen only sometimes?
That's just a great question. That's a very existential question. I'm not sure if we have enough time here today, but please know I'm thinking of you,
Eamon. Question from Nathaniel. They asked, who is your favorite ultra runner to include in memes and why?
Well, you've probably seen the Anton memes. I'm just a huge Anton fan, and I hope he doesn't take them the wrong way. But when I created the whole Anton prophecy, Anton 2020, that was my personal hopes that he would truly return next year and be running ultras again. So, when Anton hit the scene, I was certainly following the sport very closely. It was just a very exciting time in ultra running. So love to see him back.
There is a rumor on his recent post that AJW kind of prodded him to see about putting a bib on this summer.
Yes.
So there is.
I saw that.
I'm like, is this the returneth? It'll be interesting to see if he ever goes up to the ultra distance again. But I feel like there might be a tickle.
I mean, there's a prophecy that exists.
Yeah,
the
prophecy, not a tickle. Somebody in the main show, I didn't pull the name, but somebody in the main show had asked, is Mako just too easy to meme?
Yeah, possibly. So he's got like that favorite grocery store, right? I forget, which one it is. So I had no familiarity with this at all. I obviously knew who Mako was. I had not seen his YouTube stuff before. And so I included that grocery store in like a Killian meme, and people were flipping out. People are like, that's not Killian's grocery store. That's Mako's grocery store. Like, you can't do this in your meme. Like, take it down. And I'm like, I'm not trying to plagiarize the guy here. It's just, it's a grocery store.
You can only know so much about everybody.
You can, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Trying to keep all the information in your head is you're gonna go crazy. Ultra running memes. It has been an absolute joy to have you on tonight, and just referring to as ultra running memes has been a delight. We're gonna stay on here for the after show. We're gonna talk a little bit about Badger 100 and kind of our experience. We'll briefly talk about that, but we wanted to let you go so you could go and get out of the. I imagine hot
probably
and
very
sweaty
in there.
It's a little warm. I might take a shower, cool down a little bit, maybe go for a run. We'll see. But thank you guys. No, I've enjoyed it. It was a great time.
Absolutely, really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
your time.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
right.
Take care. I'll let you hang out.
All right.
I'll
Well,
let you
hang up.
leave me.
See you guys. I'm out.
He's out. That was awesome. God, that was so much
That
fun.
was really funny.
It was super funny. We're gonna leave his still image up there for the rest of the after show, just because I feel like if I click out of this, I'm gonna mess something else up. It's been Mercury is in retrograde. But man, having them on the show was just.
That was so fun.
Happy April 1st, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed it. Go to Ultra Running Memes on Instagram. Thank him for being on the show, and comment and, of course, follow. and grab one of his hats or whatever else they have up on the website,
Mhm.
lasthorserunners.com. Thank him for being on the show. We just wanted to talk briefly about our experience at Badger 100 and thank our buddy Darren for allowing us to crew and pace him. And we got to
Mhm.
see a lot of you out there. There's a lot of members of this community that were out there running their own races or pacing or crewing their own friends or family. It was really neat. It was really neat to get to experience that this last weekend.
Yeah, I think Patreon crew member Nicole was out at Badger running as well. I didn't get a chance to chat with her, but
It
yeah.
was awesome. So basically, we went out to a part of the state that I had never been to.
Neither of us have.
Yeah, Eastern Washington. My connection with it, my sister used to go to college in Ellensburg, so we would drive to Ellensburg, and then sometimes we'd drive to Spokane and into Idaho and that sort of thing. So that corridor was kind of all we traveled. Where we were for this race was more southeast of anywhere that I've been in the state before. And it was a beautiful area. It was really, really beautiful. Reminded you a lot of your hometown.
Yeah, it looks exactly like the town I grew up in BC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And deceptively tough. We talked about that on the show.
Yes.
But the trails were rugged and rocky and super steep in spots. The elevation profile looked...
It looks like not bad. Like the Jeep trails look not bad. Jeep road.
It's this long section, maybe 10, 15 miles of kind of flat in the middle. The way the race is organized, it's an out and back and out and back. So you have a 50-mile race, which is an out and back. And then the 100-miler is 2 of those. So you end up crossing over the same terrain up to 4 times. And this one section in the middle was like 10 or 15 miles, and it just looks flat on the elevation profile. You hit it out, back, so 4 times. But the Jeep roads that were in the middle of that were knife edge sharp up and down. It was insane.
We both had a chance to experience those.
And only once each, and that was enough.
Yes.
Whereas our runner, Darren, had to do it 4 times.
Todd says, how did you guys enjoy the killer climb up McBee?
That was you.
That was me. Yeah, I started pacing there. And I feel like the climb isn't that bad, but I also had fresh legs. And I was also going at the pace of my runner who had 68 miles on his legs. And when we went up, it was dark and it was like a incredible view of all the lights down below. So, yeah.
My pacing started late in the afternoon on Friday and went into the early evening, like 10 or 11 p.m. Kim picked up. Basically, I went to mile 68. Kim picked up from 68, took him to 89 or 90.
Yeah.
And then I picked up from 90 to 95, and then his wife picked up from 95 to the finish. So we got to kind of vary up the terrain, and I got to run with them during sunset and sunrise. You got to see some of the sunrise too on your stint. And it was a really wonderful way to get to experience this race, this course, these people, without having to go out there for 100 miles, which is nice.
We also just really love pacing and crewing. Pacing is one of my favorite things to do. It's so much fun.
So kind of what we wanted to talk about is to end this by saying and encouraging you to go out and pace or crew or volunteer at an event, because we've come to the conclusion over the last year, we've paced and crewed a lot of friends at races, and it's been more rewarding than we ever could have possibly imagined. So if you ever are thinking about, maybe you haven't run an ultra yet and you're thinking about it, go crew someone that is. Maybe you are looking at running 100 someday, or you have dreams of running 100, but you're terrified of it. Go crew, go pace. I promise you that even if you have a fast friend or someone who runs much, much faster than you, by the time they hit those later miles, they're going to be slower. They might be able to be your pace. You can actually run with them. And like Kim has paced me during all of my long runs. I've paced you during yours. And it's just a great opportunity to get to know people better, get to test yourself a little bit, and also get to take care of someone else in their achieving of a goal. And that has been one of the most rewarding things, I think, for us in a long time. So we encourage you guys to go do it.
Yes. It also gives you a chance to see, like, if there's a specific race that you're interested in, but you're maybe not sure of, it gives you a chance to see some of that race without it being in your race yet.
Like my first experience at Western States was crewing. And I've since crewed a couple times there, and it's a great way to experience that race without having to get in, because obviously getting into Western States is so difficult. But pacing or crewing can be much more approachable. Highly encourage you to do it, or volunteering at an aid station. I mean, that's like number one way to get into some of these races, is to volunteer and just be a part of the atmosphere and be a part of the family. So yeah, that's kind of the message we wanted to leave this with. It was a great experience this weekend. We had a great time, and a big congratulations to our buddy Darren.
Yeah. Scotty Mac 7679 says, I called your name as you guys started down Candy Mountain. I was coming up doing my first 50K. That would have been you. I wasn't
Yeah.
with him on
Did we high
Candy.
five? I think that was I hadn't slept at all, so I was also probably a bit delirious at the time. But I think, did we high five? There was someone that was like, "It was because of you that I'm running this 50K," and high fived, and it was a real brief but really cool encounter. So maybe that was you. I hope it was. If so, high five again. Yeah, that happened a couple times when I was pacing. People recognized that during the night section, people recognized the voice, which was always really funny. Like, hey, I heard your voice, because I talk a lot when I'm pacing to just talk at the runner. And so people recognized the voice. I thought that was really funny. And then during the daylight, people recognized, I think I had my head wraps on and stuff like that. So people were able to recognize the Ginger Runner wraps and stuff. But it was really neat. It was really, really fun. Anything else?
Oh, and Todd says that he chatted with you at McBee as well.
Oh, Todd, yeah. I got to see Todd at the bottom of McBee. I think you guys had just left, and I was kind of filming you guys leave, and Todd came over and was volunteering from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m., which is such a block of time awake and volunteering and helping everyone get through that. So big ups to you, Todd. That is what a crazy aid station too. That was they had some huge trailers and lights and fire and music, and it's really cool.
I didn't let Darren go in there on our way back.
No way. No way.
It was way too inviting.
Way
the
too inviting.
Fire and the heat.
So I got to enjoy a little bit of it. It was great to meet you too, Todd. That was really fun. It was really, really special. But yes, thank you everyone for the continued support. Happy April. Hope you enjoyed the 1st of April. We love having fun with it. If you haven't seen that other video, go watch it. It's a delight. It was fun to throw together.
I also hope that people were pleasantly surprised that we actually did have ultra running memes on the show, and that it wasn't like a big, like, gotcha.
Oh, you know what I didn't talk about on the show tonight? Our guest next week.
That's okay. You can tell the Patreon people.
You are going to be the first to know who our guest is next week. Scott Jurek. Scott Jurek is joining us on Ginger Runner Live next Monday, and that is not an April Fool's joke. That is a big misstep by me by not announcing that on the main show. But Scott Jurek, the one and only, will be joining us on Ginger Runner Live next Monday. You are the first to know about it. Get those brains a buzzing with questions and stuff, because it is a doozy. Talk about the best of the best. I mean, it's like him and Killian. Just crazy. So we get Scott. Freaking crazy.
Yay.
I'm frozen in time. Frozen in time. I was trying to freeze.
Oh.
Your internet connection is not worrisome. Thank you so much, everybody. April is just getting started. We'll do our Ginger Crew live on Thursday. I have a feeling this month is going to be heavy on the Tiger Claw stuff. So
yes,
expect lots of posts asking, like, what's your opinion on this? And help us pick this and that sort of stuff. We'll be taking pictures of behind the scenes things that are happening as merch and stuff arrives. We're just going to try to share as much of this behind the scenes experience as possible, which has always been our intention. So stay tuned for Thursday's show link. That'll be popping up on Patreon. But thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. It's been such a wonderful and stressful last couple of months, and you guys have all been there by our sides helping us get through it. So thank you. Get out there. Train hard, race harder, and part of the hardest.
I know I am.
We'll see you guys next week. Happy April 1st. Bye.